After several delays and multiple release date alterations, the day is finally here where the Kabir Khan directed film 83 has come to theatres. There were a lot of preview shows which were opportunities for me to watch the film close to 2 days in advance before its release, but I chose not to do that or read a lot of reviews that are already out and decided to watch it with the audience today, as it makes the process of analysing films much more organic. To see how a film is perceived by the audience in the flesh definitely is a far better experience that I've personally felt in understanding the emotions that a film has the capability to generate, rather than a press show where everyone is dissecting and analysing the film, already in the back of their mind prepping their pieces on it, especially for a film like 83, which has so many expectations. A film that is based on the historical and unexpected victory of the World Cup by the Indian cricket team in 1983 led by Kapil Dev. This story promised to have all the ingredients for a brilliant theatre experience, as it combines modern Indian history and cricket, something for which there is a massive fan following in the country. The biggest selling point about this film has been that more than it being a story about the sport of cricket with the national sentiment in mind, it's about human perseverance and the classic underdog story. How everyone believed that this Indian cricket team would be mere spectators and eventually proved quite the contrary. David Frith, as the editor of Wisden Cricket Monthly, had written, "Show me a person who gave Kapil Dev's team any chance of winning the 1983 World Cup, and I will show you a liar and an opportunist." To see the story of the Indian cricket team's World Cup triumph on the big screen was something that I have heavily anticipated. Getting right into the film and its impact, here's me telling you the good and bad aspects of the movie so that you guys can ultimately decide whether to watch it in theaters or not. The underwhelming aspects. Certain elements. I can't really categorize talking about some of the aspects that did not work for me in the film, so it's just a broad umbrella at this point. So what I'll do is try to brush on them all briefly. I feared initially that the comedy in this film won't work because I had found certain gags that we all saw in the trailer to be rather goofy, but surprisingly a lot of the jokes land and the banter among the team do really work. Probably the only gag that didn't work was a long-running joke about acidity and a sexually transmitted disease. It really came across as if the creators were trying really hard to make us sporadically laugh. Thankfully, the writers hit the right note most of the time, but that was one gag where I was like, okay, right now it's getting a little out of hand. I had wondered about the role of Deepika Padukone in a film like this and whether it contributes to anything in the narrative. Is it just another way to feature a star in the film that attracts more numbers, or does it have an emotional arc with a character like Kapil Dev? I slowly realized that the purpose of Deepika was as much as the other wives that featured in the film. Give close-up shots to the match and reactions to the wins and disappointment. Her presence in the film did not really lend much emotional depth for the movie, if that was the intention. I also felt that the portrayal of other nationalities was rather gimmicky in this film. All British cricket fans were showcased as bald-headed angry men, as if they were characters from the firms on the sets of Green Street Hooligans. There is also a sequence where West Indian women are portrayed to be all up in the Indian wives' faces, almost bullying them to the point where they break down in tears, which I thought was rather excessive. Barring such moments, the ability of the creator to integrate several real-life events that were taking place simultaneously and putting them into context in this chapter of modern history is truly commendable. The good. The music. I think a lot of people are sleeping on the effectiveness of the 83 music album. No one is really raving about it on social media, and it has done average numbers, especially when you put it into context of the commercial value of this movie. The music composed by Preetham honestly embodies the essence that a film like 83 requires. Lehrado has to be my favorite, assisted by the beautiful vocals of Arijit Singh. It instills a sense of national pride that many viewers will feel. It plays through many instances of the film and definitely takes the cake of being the highlight of the music album. Jeetega Jeetega has a more exhilarating tone, almost as if being the perfect motivation for the cricket team to get past its several hurdles in the tournament. Again, assisted brilliantly by the vocals of Arijit Singh. A song that gave me a sense of nostalgia was Ye Hausle, with the beautiful vocals of KK. I would highly recommend you check out the music album on YouTube, as it definitely deserves some love. The movie and its integration of the music never becomes saturated and generates some genuine goosebump moments. The sport itself. I had discussed this in the trailer review of 83 and communicated that my biggest pet peeve about sports films in Hindi cinema is when the sport itself is not captured with authenticity. Many movies like Victory and Dil Bole Hadipa almost gave me PTSD of the lack of care in representing the sport when it comes to celluloid. The fact that the cast of this film has worked in active cricket camps with the guidance of the 1983 cricket legends, it actually translates on the big screen. The fact that the movie has been shot in real locations that range from Lords to Manchester, the cricket matches actually seem like highlights of the real deal. Even though I would have liked it if the sports scenes were shot with less number of jump cuts than what already exists in the film, it is really exciting to witness how the matches went down on the big screen. In certain moments, having the ability to actually make you gasp and make your jaw drop. Perfect casting. Mukesh Chhabra should honestly take a bow on the casting decisions taken for this film. Not only are the actors almost exact replicas of the legends from the World Cup winning cricket team, but all the actors have beautifully embodied the characteristics, body language, and style on and off the pitch with such ease. Of course, as there are so many characters, there are some standout performers. Just like everyone had envisioned from the trailer, Jiva absolutely kills it as Shrikant, a vibrant, eccentric personality who just doesn't understand the concept of playing defensive. His casual attitude, his love for his team, and especially a scene where he defends his captain at a public party stands out and will stay with you. I was extremely surprised by the conviction showcased by Hardy Sandhu as Madan Lal. You can clearly tell that the man has acting chops and what it takes to probably be in other fictional roles in the future. Jatin Sarna as Yashpal Sharma and Emmy Virk as Balvinder Sandhu lend the much needed funny quotient in the film that never feels forced. I feared that Pankaj Tripathi, with the numerous appearances that he is doing in famous films, that he will almost get lost at one point in these different universes. But give it to the man and his ability as an actor, he still somehow manages to create an impression with his limited time on screen as the team manager PR Mansingh. I genuinely have to say though, it's like Ranveer Singh is a chameleon. Probably one of the most versatile actors from the current generation that has a range to portray the demonic Alauddin Khilji, the soft-spoken Murad, and Kapil Dev with such ease that no matter what you think about him in and out of films, the man is just bloody talented. He warms up through the initial minutes of this film, slowly gets into the skin of the captain of the team, and eventually is Kapil Dev. A captain who leads by example rather than influencing his teammates with a rhetoric speech. The self-aware nature of Kapil Dev, playing to his strengths to aid the team to victory, is beautifully portrayed by Ranveer Singh. A brilliant underdog story. This is a story that means much more than the sport and the national sentiment that is associated with it. It is a story during a time where Indians were perceived a certain way globally. Not mincing my words, but no one took us seriously at any competitive event. Scuffed at the very fact that we beat only East Africa before this tournament, these individuals had something to prove. To change the way Indians are perceived on a global scale, and they are essentially the trendsetters of the powerhouse that we have become today. 1983 changed the way the very connotation of what it meant to be an Indian was, and this is a beautiful underdog story that I would highly recommend you check out in theaters. There's no other way it's meant to be seen. And that was a video, guys. Write down in the comments below what you thought about the movie. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram. The handles are right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.